Boom, what's going on? What's going on, people? We're back again. It's the J James Show, and it's something new, guys. The first episode of the season. It's the Champions League preview. Let's get into it, guys. Boom.
That's killed it.
You made the decision to play Thiago. Klopp doesn't change the system. Since Blue left, you don't want to change from the 4-3.
European nights under the floodlights. 5 times winners. All sounds like
Six. Are we not? No, 6 times.
I don't count that one.
I feel
I'm joking. No, it's six, guys. What's going on? What's going on, people? Back again on the Jerry James Show with the main man G. I'm going to be breaking down the Champions League for you. Different format. None of this red nonsense. We're going to focus on the blue. We're going to focus on the good times, the successful times. G, what's going on? How you doing, my guy?
Bro, you know me, man. I'm blessed. Now it's Champions League, so now we've got a different competition to moaning. I like it. I kind of like it still.
The way you're talking is like it's a guaranteed L.
Yeah, cool. Well, we'll get into the predictions and stuff. Don't worry, we'll get into that very, very soon, and we'll get into Napoli in a general sense. But yeah, man, that's an L right there. 100%.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ. Look, we got a few people in already, and that's what we love to see. We know that our fan base, not even a fan base, our group, our clique, because none of you guys are fans, our clique are out here, riding out for us. We've got a man like Shawnee in the building. What's going on, Shawnee, man? Hope you're doing well. We've got 6 times always in there as well. Like, hold on, 6 times. Are you a mod? I think we got to nominate him, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I thought he was. I fully thought he was.
We've got, I'm going to go and check because I've got to make sure that certain people are recognized for their efforts on the channel.
No, facts.
Do you know what I mean? So 6 times, you're not a mod, but guess what, mate? You have been nominated. Done. That's what I have to say. We got RJ in the building as well, and that's what I like to see.
Yeah, in the dog. Where you been, bro?
You know what I mean? Like, we got Roms in here as well. He's going to be joining us shortly, but big up. 6 times 8 is going to be a tough game. Yeah, it is, man. It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
Bro, it's not looking good, bruv. I'm telling you.
Yeah, man. We got another guest as well. We got Ash that's going to be joining us shortly as well. We're just having some technical difficulties setting up. Do you know what I mean? So we'll wait on that. But G,
chat to me, dog.
We've had a poor start to the season, man. I think that's poor's an understatement. To be fair, it's been shit. It's been trash. It's been trash, and we haven't been great.
Mm-hmm.
Not only have we not picked up points, our performances have been terrible. And I think that's what's more worrying to me. Injuries have just devastated us to a certain extent, but it's not been first team. Is really the only real first teamer that's been out is Thiago. What I mean by first teamer is that a guaranteed nailed on starter.
Mm-hmm.
Going into this game, how are you feeling about it?
In a general sense, not really optimistic. I'll be real without getting too deep into it. Yeah, like it's not looking good. As 6 times said, it's not looking good, bruv. Like it really isn't. And you're coming up against a team who are well drilled, well oiled, like to keep the ball. But we'll get into all of that anyway. But it's not looking good, man. Not looking good at all, bro. What are you telling me? How are you feeling, kind of, in terms of? Obviously, we've not lost in 3 games. To be fair. So how are you feeling now? If I told you that we've won 2 out of the last 3, drawn 1, and we're playing against Napoli away. How would you feel about that?
Before I get into that one, we've got the main man Ash in the building as well.
What up, dog?
What up?
Ash with his second Liverpool kit, the away kit for the season. You can see he's just blinding all of us on stream.
The glitch.
He says he likes it.
That's what it is, man.
JJ, I see you've come with the yellow and red checkers.
Yeah, do you know what I decided to do? Yeah. And look, guys, I'm going to show you what the missus has done to my top. You asked her to do the washing with the football kits. And this is what starts to happen. Can you see that? You see
yeah.
that?
The
Can you see
fade.
that? It's just battered. But what can I say, man? What can I say? I'm wearing it. You know what? Because big up, because Assad's in the building, as always, saying good evening, G. Hold on, Assad. Good evening. Where are you actually based? Are you in London? Because it's not in the evening. It's not in the evening in the UK.
It's afternoon, man.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to know. But no, did I? And Jerry's Assad saying, Jerry, did you just finish your McD shift? Nah. Do you know what happened? Yeah, is I went for obviously an interview at McDonald's just earlier, and I wanted to make sure that obviously I could get in and all of that. So no, I'm joking. What it was I was informed that this top was the actual top. Was the top that we wore? We debuted in the Champions League last season.
Was it?
And considering we had such a good run in the Champions League, I thought to myself, why not wear this to embody some sort of positivity in the world where we can't find any? Do you know what I mean? G's out here on Trudon's on loan. Do you know what I mean? Like, as we can see here, big up saying Marque, Pillow, and Duvet settings. Whoa, what does that mean? Let me not even get involved in that. But Trudon's on loan. We've got G here on loan at Barca as well, kissing the badge and all sorts. Do you know what I mean? Look
Literally
at that.
kissing
Shameless.
the badge.
You heard
Dear
him.
me.
Shameless.
So it's crazy. So I decided to obviously come in and wear it. But in response to your question, if you had told me, if I didn't know football and someone told me that, I'd be like, we're in decent form. I'm beaten.
It's all right, lads.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll all get better. We've got Champions League heritage within our DNA. We can't mess this up. We can't. And it's like, we're not going to. It's going to be a 4-0. And it's like, you hear that. And the thing is, we'll hear this stuff. And I wish I could believe in it, but I don't. And that's the scary thing about it, is that on paper, it doesn't seem that bad. We hear from fans telling us we're only 5 points off of City. But it's the greater picture. And the same way we spoke about this demise this season, last season, and in pre-season, all three of us, actually, no, it's not all three of us. It's all four of us. We all spoke about the demise. Do you know what I mean? All for us. Big up, Rob.
Can I just jump in? Big up, Ash. Big up.
One second. But it's like a thing where we've spoken about it. And it's like, this will just papers over the cracks. The fact that we're 5 points away from City. The fact that, as you said, we've drawn one and won our last and one two. No, out of 5 games, was it 3 games? It's 3 games, isn't it? We've won 2 and drawn 1.
Yeah, 1-2 drawn.
Yeah. You'd be taking 6-7 points out of 3 games. It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's not bad at all. That's good form.
That's what I'm saying. Roms, what are you telling me, man?
What you said, we actually think of that, because you know how you said we debuted that kit in last season and won the game or not. That's why I've won this one. Look, 5 times the art heritage way at the
serious kit.
Find that goal that to Mane. The year we won it. Well, let me bring some positivity. But Jerry, you hit the nail on the head. It's easy to say. Fans have been DMing me, heritage, Roms. Like, I know you're not feeling the best, but this is our competition. Yeah, it is, but they're one of the most big up G. They're one of the most informed teams right now. We're one of the shit teams right now. Like, you have to call it out for what it is. I hope I'm wrong. I don't want to be right. I want these up to grow me. Like, I told you, bro. I want to come on there next week. Like, I told you, you're so neg. I want that, but I feel like when the fat lady sings, I'm just gonna be telling all this positive reds. Told you so. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. And I mean, the best way is, to get into it and just focus on Liverpool before we move on to Napoli. As G said, we're coming off the back of a draw. Won our last 2 games before that. 9-0, one of them. It seemed as though Liverpool had turned the corner, right, guys? 9-0. We're back on top. We've clicked.
We had a good game. Yeah, I agree. We had a very good game.
We got up against Newcastle. To summarize,
did we even have a very good game, or were they just that poor? I don't want to.
They were just that dead.
But regardless,
you still got to play with it. Yeah, it's a record.
I was doing a bit too much.
Score 9 goals, cool. You come against Newcastle. We're horrible in that game. Really, really bad. Struggled to break down the opposition and got to win it in the 98th minute of what were 5 minutes only added on in the game. if that was at Old Trafford, we'd be talking about Fergie time and that type of thing. But we're not going to get into that. Poor performance yet again, but we got the win against our Merseyside rivals. We come unstuck. Struggle to score a goal. Salah non-existent. We spoke about it. But surely, Ash, this is the game where we kickstart our season. As I've said, 4 games since the opening window, since opening day.
How many times are we going to come on and say, this is the beginning of the season. This is where the season begins. Let's kick on let's get Thiago's back. Oh, yeah, we're going to play Thiago and Matt. Listen, it's not going to happen. People need to get it into their heads now. Like, Liverpool are going to be trying the hardest to perform in Istanbul. We're going for a miracle this season to save the season. We're not favourites for the Champions League. We're not favourites for the Premier League. FA Cup, League Cup, nobody cares about those. Like, we're literally not good enough this season. So everyone needs to stop this. Season starts today. If you think about it, we're overperforming already, because if you look at the games we won, Newcastle, Bournemouth, we only won because Bournemouth were so poor and we got lucky in the last minute of Newcastle. We should have lost those games. Every game we've played this season, we should have lost.
Yeah, big up Trudon. This just made me chuckle a bit. I thought I'd throw that in. He's saying more like MJ. This is it. This is it. You know, he's standing. every game I'm like, this is it. But Jesus, man, it's like,
but then you'll get that cliche saying every game's different, which it is. But word to what you said, Jerry, it's the bigger picture that I don't see how Liverpool fans can still be optimistic and positive after you can only go off what you've seen. I don't get that. When they're saying this to me, that stop being negative, and I'm like, have we been watching the same Liverpool, or have we been watching different Liverpool? I don't get it. Like,
Roms, you said it yesterday. Like, the only players that are missing, Matip and Thiago. That's it.
There you go.
They're
and you know
not
what?
they're not going to turn us into a Premier League winning team.
And he's back today. And the first thing I said to fans, not to put a Debbie down on it, but for how long? Like, for how long? Like, cool, he's back, but you know, I'm just getting hot already. Carry on.
I mean, we got Jamie Phillips in there. Big up Jamie Phillips, please.
Big up Jamie every time.
Big up Jamie.
We had a lot of laughs yesterday. Some suspect, opinions from Jamie. So, you know, if you want to go and have a bit of that, some X-rated stuff, please check that out. I don't really know where to start, because I'm not really optimistic. How do you expect the game to pan out? So we're obviously going away to the Stadio Maradona. The fans are known for being really, really, aggressive. They're going to try to intimidate our players. We're not in the best of form, and we're coming up against a Napoli side that haven't lost all season so far. So I've played 5, got 11 points, winning 3, drawing 2. It looked as though, Napoli were going to be in for a torrid time. You're looking at the sale of Koulibaly, Mertens leaving, Insigne leaving. Mainstays in our club. This is the equivalent of Mane, Salah, and Van Dijk leaving for Napoli.
Yeah.
Yet what they've managed to do is turn the corner and integrate the likes of Osimhen, Hervin Lozano, the new player, Kvaratskhelia.
Thank God you said it, boy.
I'm big up you can pronounce it, because
real talk.
That's what you lot were saying. When I kept putting in the chat and someone said, Rob, you're not typing now. I was like, no, I have to keep going Google and copy.
Yeah, 100%, bro. I can't say that.
I'm glad you mentioned him, Jerry.
I'm going to call him KV. I'm going to call him KV still.
Yeah.
Kvarat, and that Kvarat.
Yeah, whatever.
But what they've done, they've managed to replace these players, and it seems as though so far that they've been okay. They've been decent. So, Roms, going into this game, where do you feel? It's a bit of a difficult question, but where do you feel Liverpool could have some success in this game?
clutching at straws here. I would have told you in the final third, but going off what I've seen and where we've not been potent, I can't 100% put my money on it. What I will say, it's not going to make much difference, but what I will say is, I've said it before in your stream, every game this season we probably will have more possession than the opponent, bar City. Even City, sometimes we match them. We'll keep more of the ball. Jerry, the possession stats, I'm not saying they're going to be like 70-30, how most of our tactics on boards are. I feel like it will be closer because the atmosphere, a lot of players might be their first time experience it, or they might just not be used to the ultras and whatnot. But I reckon it will be about 55-45 in our favour. We'll dominate the ball more or less, but it's what we do with it. I feel we'll get into the lineups and whatnot, but I feel the midfield I've chosen, it enhances ball retention. I feel like we will keep a lot of the ball. But to actually answer your question and say, where do I feel we can be successful? If I'm being honest, Jerry, I don't think we're going to be successful in much areas of this game. That's just me answering. Honestly, I think we'll have more of the ball. We'll have chances that we don't finish. And yeah, that's what I can really say. Koulibaly's a miss to them, but they've got a Korean centre back that's doing well. I forgot his name. I watched their second half against Lazio this weekend, and they were excellent. They should have won that 3-4-1. I watched this. I'm not gonna act like I watched the full 90, but I watched, and that Korean centre back was getting to everything, winning first balls. And I'm just thinking, bro, if Nunes is up against him or Jota, they need to be on their game because he just seems ruthless, that nothing to lose. But yeah, Jay, we'll create a lot of chances and whatnot, but I don't think we'll be clinical. So yeah, the only positive I can say is that we'll have more of the ball. But in what we want to see, is that even a positive now? Like,
I think we got to remember as well that big up Michael Talks. I think you're new to the show, but big up, appreciate you tuning in.
He's been on his set. Yeah, you're the knowledge. Big up, Michael. That's him. That's his name. Sorry. Thank you for that.
What's going on, Michael?
What's
going on, Michael? Well, it is Kim Min Jae. I appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, so Kim Min Jae, as you said, has done really, really well since coming in. In regards to their midfield, it's not as bad as you think. I know they've lost Fabian Ruiz, but they do have a player that has caused us trouble in the past in Dombele. They got Frank Zambo and Guisa from the ex-Fulham player. Very good player. And they've got a player that Klopp actually we were linked with for ages.
Oh, we were linked with him for 4 years. What did he do?
Zielinski, one of my people.
Big up, Jay.
One of my people. Now, we speak about the possession, but Ash, do you feel Liverpool are going to dominate possession the way they have in the Premier League? Or do you think Napoli, considering how potent they've been going forward, the fact that they're second in the league, they created 19 chances in their last game against Lazio and won that game 2-0. Is it as easier saying Liverpool going to, trump possession? It's going to be the same as always, but we're not going to be able to break down this Napoli side? Or do you think they're going to be a much more offensive
I think
than we think?
The big difference tomorrow is that we're playing away to Napoli. Like, that stadium is a cauldron. Like, it is a madness. So they're going to think the way we're playing at the minute, the form that Liverpool are in, they're going to think they can get a win off Liverpool tomorrow. So they're going to play football. They've got players on that team. When you mention that midfield, their midfield is so much better than our midfield. Like, they can dominate that game if they want to. They've got players to keep possession, to keep the ball, but they're so killer on the counter-attack as well. This is where I worry. Like, no matter what game Liverpool play tomorrow, Napoli are going to get chances. Whether Napoli want to control possession, whether they want to play on the counter-attack, they're going to get so many chances. And I think they can beat us however they want to. It's different, though, when they come to Anfield. They might think, Anfield, we'll play a different game, we'll sit back. I'm worried about tomorrow. Like, really worried about tomorrow. The way they're playing at the minute, the form that they're in, and the form that we're in as well, it just doesn't look good. I think we'll get lost.
Ash, you hit the nail on the head. Big up yourself, Ash, because I did not think of that. Do you want to know the most worrying thing? What Ash just said. Deep it. The narrative of our season has been a lot of teams have just sat back and hit us on the counter. We've not faced a team that can beat us both ways yet. This is an actual danger. If they want to play the possession game, they can go toe-to-toe with us. If they want to hit us on the counter, they can go toe-to-toe with us.
Yeah.
So we're just fucked on all cylinders.
Yeah.
This is actually the first team that can beat us in 2 ways. I didn't big up yourself, Ash. I didn't think of it like that. I did not think of it like that at all.
G. This tie, although they're not the same team, they do remind me. This tie reminds me of the same tie that we had last season with Inter Milan.
Mm-hmm.
And although we came out on top in that game, they played us off the park.
Mm-hmm.
In lots of spells in that game, they actually played football. And yes, it's a different team. But do you see something like that on the cards?
Yeah, you got to realize in their last 5 Serie A matches, the least amount of possession they've had is 52%. That's when they drew to Fiorentina. So we're coming up, as Roms just said, we're coming up against a team who they can keep the ball as well. We're not the only ones. Problem that we have is that bar that 9-0 win, we're not a team who can really open up other teams, so to speak. As we've proved that we can't break down many teams. It's going to provide individual quality or a scrappy goal by Carvalho in the 98th minute of a game. If we can get that, then yeah, 100%. And when you've got, was it Kim Min-jae?
Yes.
When you've got him, who is the number one aerial winner up against Nunes. People obviously talking about Nunes potentially starting and things like that. He's the number one in Serie A for challengers won in the air. So that kind of maybe nullifies putting Nunes out there on the pitch as well.
Put Jota in.
All we're going to do is just, hoof the ball. We keep talking about passages of play. And this is the problem. Even here, even what Jamie's saying about, leaving space in behind, it's irrelevant. The space in behind doesn't mean anything. We have wingers who do not play with space in behind at this current moment in time. So having that space is so irrelevant, like super irrelevant. I don't care about the space in behind because we don't play like that anymore. Salah doesn't play like that. Diaz definitely doesn't play like that. Nunes probably is the only one, but I feel because of the way that we play, that will just get nullified. So really, if I'm being real, the winner of the game will be who wins that battle in midfield. And if we're talking about midfield versus midfield, they trump us by, I don't even care if they put out a youth player. It'd still be better than the midfield that we're probably about to put out tomorrow. So the reality is there any level of optimism? I don't see it. I don't know where anybody sees it. We've been shit. We've been poor this season. I honestly don't understand why people keep looking at this team and expecting to see something amazing happen. We are literally watching in front of our eyes that this team is literally just declining as we go every game after game. We're so bad that we're waiting for Thiago, who we know is one of the most injury-prone players out here, to come back. Do you know how sad that sounds as a fan? You sound sad. You actually sound sad when you say things like this. And this is the problem for Liverpool fans to wrap their head around, is that just lower the expectation. Forget whether you think we're going to win or lose. Like, even the most negative person wants the team to win. Yeah, me. I mean, I want the team to win. But the reality is, there is literally, if I had to put it into a percentage, there's about a 5% chance of this team actually going to Naples and winning against a team who are second in the league behind Atalanta, who play brilliant football, against a team who have zero confidence at the moment, who drew against Merseyside derbies, who are shit. Like, Everton are actually dog shit, and we ended up drawing against them. Come on, man. Like, it's not making any sense, bro. Not making any sense.
You know what, G? Just to add on to that, the thing is what you said about Liverpool fans, that big up saying it's the identity crisis, because the last 3-4 years, we've always eventually got there. We haven't really had this burst of a start, but it's always, we're Liverpool. We've been so successful last 3-4 years. We're eventually going to get there. And it's like, no, this season will be different. Like, you actually need to call it out for what you see it as. This season, it's not going to be, we're eventually going to get there. If you see our run up until the World Cup, then what? If we're in bad stead, then we have to go again after the World Cup. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy that Liverpool fans need to get real. When they're saying, surely we're going to get better. What evidence have you seen that we will? Honestly, and the players you're hoping to come back, will break that. That's why I know all four of us thought the same thing. When fans are getting happy Thiago's back, of course, he's our best midfielder. He is. And big up Jamie because he's actually our best defender from midfield as well.
Yeah, I agree with
It's
that.
just like how long before he goes again. I want to be happy. If this was a player that wasn't injury prone, I'll be singing his praises right now. I'll be over the moon. But yeah, it's upsetting. But I'm praying for him. Now we just have literally before each game, I just want all three of you and everyone in this chat just to give a little prayer for Thiago before each game. It might not have to be a game though. You could walk to the shop and his hammy might go.
You need to give him a rabbit foot or something.
Yeah.
Do you know what though? I think our biggest hope of saving our season is the Champions League this season, 100%.
Yeah.
I think in a cup competition where you can lose 50% of your games and still win the competition, that's Liverpool's biggest chance, especially when we've got Anfield, especially when we've got the fans. We can get wins in the group, 3 wins at home, we go through. Then you've got your knockout stage. If we can get good wins at home, we go through, even if we lose the away legs. So on a game of averages, it's not too bad for Liverpool. We can kind of hope we can get there in the Champions League. But in terms of the league, and European football suits Liverpool because knockout football teams are going to try and play against us to get the win. That plays into our hands. That's how we like to play against teams. We don't like teams that sit back. So maybe we can do something magic, but we're living off hope in it. Like, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, just to kind of talk about that point, we say that we suit European football, but the reason why we've suited European football hasn't been because of the football we play.
Yeah.
And the fact that we've outrun most teams, and a lot of teams are overwhelmed by how we've played. So when we come up against Bayern Munich, they're not used to teams outrunning them, pressing them all over the pitch. Obviously, on top of that, having the quality to then be decisive in the final.
This is why Bobby's so good in it.
But listen,
Champions League football.
Listen, but we've been overrun. We've been overrun and outrun by every team we've played this season. Every team we played this season. So if you were to just maintain the level we're at, that probably puts us in the same bracket as a Napoli now. So the game's slower. The game's, even though we've got the possession, the actual game, the transitions are slower than they would be in the Premier League. So the idea that we actually suit European football, we've always been the antidote to these big teams because they're not used to teams pressing them and then having the quality on top of that to go and capitalize on mistakes, etc. Hence why City historically always struggled against us, especially when Pep first came into the league, because he was overwhelmed.
No, it's literally your point there. You just said that that we've been overrun by basically every team that we played.
I just ask quickly, was that including Bournemouth? We've been overrun as well.
I don't think.
Or just the other game?
Bournemouth as well.
You're joking right now, aren't you?
No.
You must be.
No.
Wait. So
we were clinical. Think about it. We had the same stats as we have had in every other game. The difference was we had shots on target. We had shots on target that went in.
I've not been surprised.
We've gone through the stats. We've had stats shows about this.
Listen, I've not been surprised this season, but I didn't know when we said generically, we've been outrun by. I thought it was just in the losses and draws and the Newcastle. I didn't know it was the ball. You're telling me in a 9-0 win, we still got outrun.
Of course, running for running's sake doesn't help anyone, isn't it? So of course, Bournemouth tried. They tried to press. They ran. They tried to go and crunch the pitch, overload sides of the pitch. But we were just too good. We were just too good and too clinical on that day. That hasn't spread out into the rest of into the other games. It's been an anomaly.
The thing is, bro, you just said we got outrun by everyone, basically. Yeah, that is literally our fucking identity, bro. That is the only thing that we can
intensity
from Klopp's time here. When Klopp leaves, whenever he leaves, that is literally the one thing you're going to remember about Liverpool is intensity. And you're telling me that we've been outrun by every single team. So when we try to explain to people, where do you see this level of optimism? Can you not understand and just take your fan hat off for like 2 seconds and just deep everything that's been said and everything that you're watching? You're literally watching a team in the mud right now. And the only thing that probably saves them is that their name is Liverpool. So teams probably just have a little ounce of that respect for us. So when they come up against us, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we need to just be careful of such and such. But as we see, like in regards to all of these teams that we face, bar Bournemouth, no team has showed us any level of respect. None. Yeah, well, this is it. This is it, bro.
Intensity, yeah.
This is it.
You know, if I was a
Again,
boxer, when I'm training, you know the little punch bag, I'll literally just put his face on there and just it'll be part of my routine.
Bro, like again, deep it,
Bro.
please. Like it is our fucking identity. Literally, like that is the one of the like like I said, when Klopp leaves, I'm going to remember that about this Liverpool team. Yo, we were mad.
If Pep Linders becomes
No.
manager
No,
after Klopp, are you supporting Liverpool?
I'll just turn into like an armchair fan. You know, I'll just watch it from afar. I can't stand. Or you know what? I won't even do that. I'll just be on Pep out from the day that he signs that deal, and I'll go to the stadium. Banner.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know you won't be one of these because you see all these big up Jamie said it yesterday on this stream. Big up Jamie. This FSG hashtag FG out. You lot are just stop it.
Yeah,
it's just a little
I
hashtag.
don't care about all of that.
I know, G. When you just said that, you actually be putting up banners. You actually
Bro,
be doing marches.
I have a t-shirt that literally says Pep Linders out. Like I will make sure because you cannot have.
I thought you said you have one now.
I thought he said he
don't
got
that's in the works. That's in the
He
works.
said no. I was about to say put that on.
you got to realize, bro. Like this is a coach who, you know, he's had his time, and this is what I say. Like people think, oh yeah, we're cussing Klopp now. Look what he's done, etc. What he has done, past tense, is before. I don't care about what he did. I don't care about Klopp like that to be like, oh my goodness, I want Klopp to succeed at Liverpool. I want him to succeed, but I care more about Liverpool than I do Klopp. And I think the problem with Liverpool fan base is it's the other way around. They care about Klopp more than they care about Liverpool. So now we're in this situation whereby everyone's like, nah, you can't be against Klopp. You got to just trust in the process. Fuck Klopp's process. I don't care about your process, bro. You're not being successful for Liverpool right now. So at this current moment in time, bro, you can piss off or stay. But if you're going to stay, you need to be able to do something, bro. Do something. Because we're in a situation now where I'm getting pissed off after every game. The Bournemouth game annoyed me the most, and we won 9-0 because I was like, you play like this against a shit team, but then as soon as you come up against an ounce of quality, and I do mean an ounce, remember, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Manchester United,
all shit teams, all shit teams,
bro. And now you're coming up against a Bournemouth team who fucking sacked their manager the next day. Oh, you want to show a bit of, yeah, this player's doing this, that. You played against Everton, look like, come on, bro. Like, there is no level of optimism. I just think it needs to come down a little bit. It needs to be, understand where we're at this current moment in time. Understand that this team is not a good team at the current moment in time. Thiago is not coming back to save you. I promise you that guy is not coming back to save you. So who saves us now? Because Salah's in the mud right now. Nunes is looking like the most reborn version of Haaland.
Harvey Elliott's the saviour, G. Have you not seen it? He's got the number 19.
Man, I don't care about his
saviour.
Ash,
Sorry,
I got to big you up, Ash, because as G was just ranting there, everything he said was spot on. But I'm just deep in what you actually just said 5 minutes ago. We're actually about to face a team that can do the possession thing and the counter team. Like, are we actually deep in how this game could go? We've only played teams that can big up yourself, Ash. I actually didn't think of it like that, you know. We've only played teams that can't answer the count. We've literally, it's like, you know, this is the perfect analogy. You know, we're about to verse a boxer that can fight southpaw and orthodox.
Mayweather.
We're about to fight a Mayweather, but you can do both. It's not like we're just fighting a team that can play one style now. It's, you know what? Brace yourself, Reds. I'm actually gonna pray because.
Do you know what it is with the Klopp thing? And this is what frustrates me more than anything. It's the fact that, as you said, G, intensity and running, and just going back to the game now, intensity and running is part of our DNA. We haven't been doing it.
No. It is our DNA. Not even part.
Okay.
It is our DNA.
No, it is our DNA. It is. Look, I mean, let's just get it up again for everyone because you're right.
Yes, Pep Linders.
Literally, the title of the book is intensity. Like,
can you put it up again? Can you put it up again, please? Even the Klopp's little jarring bit in the right corner. We do things our own way. People who read this will feel even greater connection to a team. I've not read it yet, but I know damn well I'll probably feel a worse connection.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Jamie Phillips said it's the worst book he's read. and he's just finished it. So, yeah, so I am going to start that tonight.
Yeah, Jamie said he read it. Read it.
I'm going to start that tonight. But what it is for me is that if that's our DNA and our identity, then there's only two options we do, because the players aren't carrying out the identity that is the identity that you've put forward, the identity you've instilled into the team. So why is that the reason? Are the players going against what Klopp is asking them and just not running? If that's the case, then Klopp has lost the dressing room from a tactical standpoint, because they're not going to do what he's asking them to, clearly. If they're trying hard, and I do think it's the latter, and they're trying hard but they're tired, then you have two options there. You either get players in to be able to do that job effectively. So your McGinns and your runners and whoever it is.
JJ likes McGinn, you know. You like McGinn.
No, I like McGinn because he fits into the mold of a Milner and a Henderson.
When Jerry first said that, I was like, Jerry, behave. But then I got straight away what he means, because he literally fits into what Klopp wants to do. Not because Jerry necessarily rates him as a player, but
McGinn can get goals. McGinn can get goals as well.
That's what I'm saying. In that system, he might be able to get goals. In the Liverpool system, he won't be in there to do that, but he'll be running. So you either go in and get players that can do that, or you change the system depending on the players that you've got. So if I've got a Milner or a Henderson, I know, you know what? Henderson's he's actually better on the ball now, kind of slow, like not dictating the pace of a game in terms of like speeding it up when he has to and stuff, but keeping the rhythm of a game. He done that well. I mean, we can pick out games from last season where he's come in and done really well when he came came in off the bench. I believe it was against AC Milan, and just popped it about and stuff. And we saw, okay, Henderson's got a bit more experience. Of course he's got that. He's got European experience now. You've got a Van Dijk now that's maybe not as explosive as he was before because of the knee injury. You don't play as much of a high line. You've got Thiago in there. Maybe you don't ask him to run about like that. Maybe we keep the ball and play a slower brand of football, which means that we can actually we speed it up when we have to. So we're slow, get near the box, boom, and we speed it up. Instead, what we're doing, we're playing this high-octane football with players that can't do it. So what are we doing as a club? Like, what are we doing?
It's clear as well, and if going from what you've just said, and we said this yesterday on the show yesterday on the tactics board, that look at what players are playing best for Liverpool right now. It's those players that haven't played the majority of the last 5-6 seasons. Those players.
Sorry, I was just putting out why you talk. Sorry.
Those players that are doing well: Elliott, Diaz, Gomez coming in, Carvalho. Players that haven't played in this Klopp system before that much. So they've got the legs, they've got the running. They're the ones that are shining because they're doing what Klopp is asking. The rest of them are just knackered. So if they're so knackered, why did we not bring people in that can literally just run? You could spend 10 million per player to get someone who can run, just to give the players with a bit of quality some rest, because that's probably all they need. If we got rest for Fabinho, Van Dijk, Thiago, Salah, if they all had rest for 2, 3 games, 4 games, they would come back fresh. And I guarantee now we'd probably be the Liverpool that you're used to, with intensity, with pressing.
We say that, Ash, but on top of that, you need a big squad for that. And the one season we had the big squad, yes, we challenged on all fronts.
Didn't even use
but what ultimately happened, obviously, cool, we didn't go and win the quad. That was a big feat anyway. But think about it. We challenged on all fronts. The summer after, what did we do? We trimmed the squad down. The numbers in our squad have gone down. We've brought in players like Bajcetic that aren't going to play. We've seen it. He's come on in one game in the 9-0. He came on at the end of that game.
I'd play Bajcetic tomorrow. I'd give Fabinho a rest and play. But I know he's gonna. It's a baptism of fire, but like,
are we gonna?
It's not optimistic anyway.
Later.
Yeah, we're gonna get to starting 11s. After that.
We can afford to do that tomorrow, because if we lose, we lose. Like, we've got another home leg. Like I said, we can lose 50% of the games. If you're going to rest someone, rest them in the Champions League, because we can't afford to lose any more Premier League games.
Yeah, I'm looking at this game now, and it's going to be really interesting because we'll get into starting lineups, but I wanted to speak about a couple of interesting kind of points in regards to squad. In midfield, let's start in the defense before we get into our starting lineup. Trent, as we've discussed, hasn't been great. Although big up Michael's, and I did check that out. It's like, to be fair, I feel like Michael's somewhere in the house, just watching over in the screen, because everything I'm about to speak about, he pops up with it just before I speak about it. So big up Michael. Osimhen's injured, or he's picked up a little knock, so he is a doubt for the game. Does that change? I know we spoke about it briefly, but I was of the opinion, I don't know about you guys, and everyone in the chat as well, I wanted to drop Trent for this game and play Gomez at right back. Does that change what you would have done in that game in regards to that? Because Trent hasn't been the greatest. Although individually Gomez as well has been okay, has been better than our defenders, as a collective, they've been really poor. And he's looked a mismatch with Van Dijk, and Van Dijk's looked like a mismatch within. He hasn't really got a good rapport with Trent at the moment. That right-hand side of ours is looking really exposed. Do you then go with Trent then as opposed to Gomez? Considering he might be injured.
I think this game we either see Van Dijk rested or Trent rested. One of them's going to rest. If Van Dijk is rested, it's just it's where Matip's going to come in. If Matip comes in for Trent, then Gomez will play right back. If Matip comes in for Van Dijk, then Trent's going to stay out on the right. I think one of them will be rested. We can't rest both just because of the depth. Both need resting, but we can't, again, because of the depth. If it was me, I'd probably rest. I don't know. Van Dijk looks so tired. Van Dijk just looks like he's just completely spent.
Do you know why I wouldn't rest them though? Because I think Osimhen is injured. We saw what Mitro done to Dijk and Matip.
Yeah,
they'll probably want a lower centre of gravity forward. So I think the next two forwards for Napoli is Simeone's son and Raspadori. But Raspadori is quite bigger, but I think he will be their third option. So I think for this game, given that Osimhen's injured and Simeone starts, I think Matip and Dijk are more. I know they're knackered. I agree with you, Ash. Everything you said. I feel like they're more accustomed for that striker instead of if Osimhen was playing, then I probably would have shifted Gomez. I probably would have played Gomez centre back this game. But yeah, I think the fact that Simeone will probably play and KV, we're just going to simplify it, is going to be on Trent's side. I want Gomez there, man.
Realize Trent has been taken off in the last flipping 2 games. Brother, he needs to go sit on the bench. I'm tired of seeing this fucking guy.
I have Ramsey ahead of him this game as well. I don't care if brother's not even kicked the ball for us. I have Ramsey ahead of him.
Yo, that is cheap.
I have Ramsey and Gomez ahead of him this game.
The thing is, look, Klopp, and obviously maybe he's reached that stage. Obviously, we saw the lineup against Everton. I don't know, but Klopp needs to, honestly, man, I'm actually starting to say, yo, Klopp, I'm actually begging you, bro, because you're actually killing me every game. You're showing me you're not that good of a manager. You're actually showing me that really and truly, when everything is laid out for you and someone prepares your food and everything, yeah, you know how to munch it. But the reality is, do you know how to cook? Because at the moment, you're not showing me that. You're showing me that you're good with the takeaways and you can get on Uber Eats and that and do your thing. But can you cook yourself?
From scratch.
And right now, you're not showing it, bro. You're not.
Do you know what's going to happen, though, innit? If Trent gets rested, Milner's going to play it right back. You just know it's going to happen.
But we can't afford to do that because, I mean, look, we're gonna, we might as well move on to that side.
Can I just mention why that can't happen? Milner got cooked by a Gordon, the Damari Grays, 2 players that are quite pacey but don't really have the ability of a KV, of a Lozano, of a Elmas. They've got classy wingers in that team. Yeah. Milner can't even afford to even come out. I don't even want him seeing out this game. Let's say I don't think this will happen at all. Let's say we're ahead with 20 minutes to go. I still don't even want to see Milner come because normally I'm not even saying no. Last season, we wouldn't have minded the experience to see out the game. But he could come on and then get cooked and be the reason why the game gets equalized. You know what I mean? So I don't want to see Milner at all in this game. At all.
Yeah, because Milner's one of them guys, isn't it? Like, beginning of the game, end of the game. If he starts the game, he's still running as fast as he did in the first minute. Yeah. But when he comes on as a sub, that speed is still slow. It doesn't matter if he's got the stamina. Your speed is still slow and you're getting done up by any less.
Tests they're pulling wool over a lot of our fans. He wins that and the fans think, oh, he's this fit guy. But it's not the same, that test and in an actual game.
Big up Co-op. Sorry to interject. Big up Co-op because this stat is correct. Milner is the most dribbled pass player per 100 minutes in Europe.
In Europe, though. But, not just the Premier League.
Are we surprised? Man is 30, what is it? 37? No, 36, turning 37, or 37, turning 38. You know what? He's too old regardless. It don't even matter how old he is. Like, he's too old.
Do you know who's probably second and third? Trent and Fabinho.
Fabinho's second, I guarantee you.
I'm even going to... Why you guys are talking about
Trent's not even there because Trent's not in a position to get dribble past.
You see how I was backing him last week? I can't even back Fabinho anymore. What I saw against Everton was just...
And it's... And moving on, I mean, I'm talking about midfield then. Our new signing, deadline day.
Lad?
He starts deadline day. Do you think he starts then Arthur?
Mellow. I don't know, lads. I reckon, you know.
You two that's as a proper.
It's a tricky one, lad. I reckon if he plays, we probably go with Elliot as well. I reckon you're either going Arthur or...
No, but we can't go Elliot. I know he's bossed that kid, but I can't warrant an Elliot playing without a Thiago, especially he's just come off an injury and that. Like, it just
honestly, you know, if no one can see us right now, they'll think you're scouts.
Big man thing. I'm listening, thinking, wow, we should enjoy what you grew up in Liverpool, yeah.
We should do a full stream one day.
Yeah, go on, Ash. Sorry, I just cut you up there. That's
sorry, lads. You're all right, kids. No worries. I think Elliot is boss. You can't deny it, lad. Like, he's got that spark. You know, he's the talent that we wanted. He's the one that we wanted to pin our hopes on. He's got tattoos and everything. Got curly hair, like a curly whirly. You know what I'm saying? But Arthur just looks like that player that we need at the minute. We need Arthur in there to just calm things down, lad. You know what?
Liverpool, I don't care.
You know what it is? When we go, calm down. That's what we need. We need Arthur in there, kid, in midfield.
No, but think about it. I mean, you can't bring in an Arthur without playing a Thiago. I mean, Thiago. I mean, the class is just. It's like water. It's like pisto, isn't it?
Silky, lad.
Gravy all over my bangers and mash. It's just boss. I don't know.
Is he the doner to your kebab, lad?
Listen, he is the curry sauce to my chips. I'll tell you that straight away, lad. Like, I'm not going to even get it twisted with you, Ash. Fucking hell.
Oh my God.
But
you're not going to get us killed in Liverpool one day. You know?
I'm
not even involved.
I don't live too far away as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not walking around with you in Liverpool ever.
But
you've got a target on your head.
Going back to it, though, I mean, Arthur, Melo. How do we
imagine if he comes in?
We call it chicken. Boer Irish chicken. I just wanted to say that for you. I love a Morley's chicken. They have that in South London.
Can I play the legendary video, Jerry? 1 minute of the Arthur video quickly.
Yeah, go on, play it quick.
1 minute.
The answer to Smells Like Teen Spirit will be so good. You mean the one that goes mellow, 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 mellow. Thiago, Oxlade Chamberlain, meet our new guy. He's Brazilian, plays in midfield, entertaining, 5-star, so outrageous, like Firmino, and Fabinho, and Carvalho, and Diogo, Armello.
This guy.
That is
This guy is the worst.
He needs to be stopped.
He needs to be. Listen, he
But
he
who's
actually.
telling him that this is okay?
Jerry,
Like, this is the problem. Like.
I blame the people commenting because that's who he's referring.
That's what I'm saying. Like, real talk.
that is bad.
Listen, that was horrible. Look, Trudon, that's exactly what it is. It's cringe. It's cringe, man. But yeah, like you got Melo now. I mean, for me, he's got to play. If he doesn't play, why did we buy him?
Yeah.
Why did we buy him? Because we haven't bought someone young. He's not someone that's not proven. He's played at the highest level there is in football.
He's played in this competition that he actually so accustomed to this actual competition.
That's my point. So for me, it's a thing where, gee, surely he plays.
Bro, like, if he doesn't play, real talk, I'm going to start. Like I said, I'm questioning Klopp as it is, man. Because some of the things that you, like I said, Uber driver, Uber delivery, and a guy who knows how to cook. Right now, you're showing me that you're the former instead of the latter. I need the latter. I'm not going to go into all ins and outs and, you know, managers ins and out. I'm not going to waste time with that because I know it's going to be in regardless. The point is, bro, you're not showing me that you know how to cook, man. Like, if this guy doesn't play, what the fuck is he doing on the bench against Everton? I do not care if this guy had a 20-minute training session. This is not some 17-year-old that you've just signed and who's here for the future, like Carvalho.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it, G? Because everyone talks about pre-season, G.
But I don't
You've
care
done a
about
pre-season. He's done pre-season with his own club. Like,
he's literally fit, like in terms of as fit as he can potentially be without being injured and things like that. So I'm sorry when people kept saying to me, "Oh, but he's only had one training session." I'm like, okay, thank you for letting me know that he had one training session here. He has been at another team. I'm sure he was training at this other team as well. So he's probably relatively fit. If this guy doesn't play tomorrow, Klopp, you're a wanker. You're actually a wanker, bro. You're genuinely a wanker, bro, because you're just doing dumb stuff now. You're doing just stupid things. I don't understand. And it's just bugging me that we sit here on the show every single week. We are always constantly talking about Klopp and the decisions, Klopp and his tactics. We've got a show called Tactics Board purely because of the shit tactics that this guy has been implementing. So I'm sorry, but it needs to end, bro. It needs to end now. It needs to end. You need to show something different.
And do you know what it is for me? And like, hold on, big up. I need to go. Big up and Dicko. Of course, we're exaggerating. We're just playing. But big up yourself. Yeah, the Birkenhead. That accent's strong. It's probably one of the
very strong.
Birkenhead. That, do you know what I mean? It's just mad. But that's what it is, though, isn't it? He hasn't got an excuse if we don't. If he doesn't play this player, the argument of I had a midfielder, I needed a midfielder, we wanted Tchouameni, that goes out of the window because essentially we're going against what we wanted. It's like, to be fair, and I've only thought about it now, with the centre backs, we got in centre backs for you to end up not playing the centre backs that we actually got.
Yeah.
So why on earth did we even go through that? It just doesn't make any sense.
The fact that anybody thinks we're actually going to play Arthur Melo, that's a madness to me. It was a panic because Henderson was injured. Since we signed him, Jones has come back, Thiago's come back. He's not going to play. I just don't think he's going to play at all. Look at tomorrow. Look at Klopp, Curtis Jones, James Milner, Fabinho. And if you don't play Curtis Jones, Elliott. Like, I don't know why anybody thinks Arthur's actually going to get game time.
So why the fuck did you sign him, bro? Why is he here? Why is it like, as in, and I'm not calling him shit, by the way, as in, I genuinely think he's actually a somewhat decent player and he's 10 million years better than the players that we have or some of them that we've got here. But if you're saying that, and I'm not saying that you agree with that, why are you here? I don't want you here then. I don't want any player that is just here for the sake of being here. Carvalho or an Elliott or a Jones, all these players that we seem to always have and are just sitting there rotting away, doing absolute nothing. Why are you here, bro? I'd rather you just bounce, bro. You being here is pointless then. Because then if Klopp doesn't play him tomorrow, which I do think he will play him, but if he doesn't play him tomorrow, I would love to hear the reason why. Because if he's on the bench, that's even worse.
Do you need to see him? Do you need to see him start tomorrow?
Yes, 100% start, bro. Actually, he has to.
I agree. I'm with you. That's what I'm saysaying. I agree with you. I thought you were saying if you just saw him come on, like that's enough.
No.
I think he needs to start.
Listen, Milner is still in this squad. That's a key problem that we've got here. Like Milner is still a part of Liverpool Football Club. That is worrying. That is so worrying that the fact that people are not pissed off with that, like, it actually amazes me. James Milner is a player who comes on. James Milner is a player that Klopp is actually trying to rely upon. James Milner is even coming out talking about, I don't feel like I want to retire and tear. My brother, keep that, but go to Leeds or something like that.
Do you know what's?
It can't happen. It can't happen.
Have a testimonial there or something.
Yeah, exactly. Go back to Newcastle. Maybe they might want a bit of experience, to get them to the next level.
You've got about 5 or 6 clubs you could go.
Bro, Newcastle, Villa, Leeds. You know what I'm saying? You got a couple teams that you can go to, but you cannot say that you needed a midfielder and you waited until the last flipping day, and your excuse was we were looking for the right player. That is the lamest excuse I have ever heard from a manager. We're looking for the right player, but you wait until the very last second to buy or to loan in a player, and we don't see the guy start. Do
you know what worries me more than anything? What did we ask for last game? Carvalho, Elliott, Nunes, Tsimikas. They all played, and we were still shit. We're asking for Arthur now.
That's what I'm going to give him, though. And then you three can slate me, but this is the own. If there's any bit of credit I give Klopp this season, it was to shut us up. Yeah, but at least he played them what we wanted to see. It was what the streets wanted to see. At least what did he do there, Rob?
But he played them in a shit system where it failed, so he could come back.
Like, it's like I can't be like to my missus, babe, like, please, I want you to cook. And she's been cooking rubbish stuff. I'm like, please cook something nice. Look, I'm gonna give you the steak. Please just cook the steak. She cooks the steak, but it's dead. It's like she burns it up. It's like at the end of the day, it's been rubbish. And my missus is a good cook, by the way. I didn't want to get that out there. Do you know what I mean? Like, before she kills me.
In trouble with that.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, just because he does what we ask him to, like, it's not about that. If I say, you know what, play Matip, but Gomez plays and he ends up being the world beater, I'm like, right, my words, you know more than me. I'm only giving my opinion as a fan. Yeah. But the problem is that it's not as easy, and it's like, it wasn't G that said it, but who was it? Ish. It's like Ish said it. It was Sunday League yesterday. Yeah, it's as if he just went and said, "Oh, you know what? Carvalho, Fabio, you're gonna play. You've paid your subs and you scored last game, so you're playing in midfield." But I haven't played midfield all season. I've been playing on the wing. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll sort that out. Numbers are poor, and that's essentially what we did. Just because he played Carvalho, it's not like Carvalho was poor in that game. He was dead.
Wasn't in the position that he needed to be in the like nothing. It was like he, as Jerry said. Sorry to even interrupt you like that, Jerry. But like as you just said, bro, yes, cool. If you want me to give you the points for that, I'll give you the points for that, club. I'll big up yourself for playing these players finally after we've been asking for these players. But if you're going to play them in the same style and system, I'd rather you just keep the other guys then. Because I knew that they were shit anyway.
Well, do you know why I'm not even angry in that? Because I know Klopp's stubborn. I wasn't expecting that for him. Do you see where I'm coming from? So I'm thinking, cool. I know what you lot are saying. You can't put them in a system where you're just going to kill them. Because I know he's not going to change the system. Fuck it. Let's just try it and error. Let's just see if it works. Let's just hope it works. That's where I'm coming from. So I see where you lot come from. But we know the 4-2-3-1. Jones, Elliott, and Carvalho, they were excelling. They're probably in their head praying for that. Because I knew I wouldn't see that. You know what? Just chuck both of the young kids in. That's why I was kind of happy I saw it, because I knew there wouldn't be a system.
But then don't you think that's like unfair? Like, if it, like, for example, cool, he's thrown in, we'll use Carvalho, should I say, because Elliott's been playing. You've thrown in Carvalho because obviously there's been this clamour for him to start. Even media pundits and that have been saying like, yo, like, this guy might need to actually start games now because of the impacts he's having. Paul Scholes mentioned it when we played against Manchester United, the impacts that he's had when he's come on the pitch. And cool, he's played him now. The reality is now, you've played him, obviously got injured, that can happen, no problem. But the fact that you've played him in a position exactly. The fact that you played him in a position that isn't his natural position, isn't even the position that he plays in when you do throw him on the pitch anyway. So now he ends up being in that same situation. Now, let's hope it doesn't happen like Jones. Jones has never had a run here because he'll have 2 good games. I think Jerry's alluded to this before. He'll have like 2 good games, then maybe he goes out the window maybe because of he doesn't play for 5 games, comes back in, shit for that game, goes out for another 2 games, then he comes back in, has a great game, then he might start the next game, doesn't then start the next 3 games, and you're like, bro, you're not even giving him a time, and you know what I'm saying, like the effort to be like, yo, let me come in and just show, like you've given to Elliot a little bit, where you said, all right, I'm just going to chuck you in and just keep you there for the time being. But I think that's going to change soon when everyone comes back. Like, how is anyone going to gain rhythm? And you're not even playing in the best position.
Frustrated, you know. He must be so. I think the only thing keeping him here is his affection for the club. Because I think looking at Jones, I think he's looking at club thinking, F you. Like, honestly.
I mean, we say that, but big up the people in the comments. It's like Jones and Carvalho didn't train. Man like Shawnee saying Curtis Jones has gone AWOL. He wasn't on the bench against Everton, nor was he training today. After posting the game before that, Everton saying, I'm back, I'm fit. So what is going on? And we don't have midfielders on top of that. On top of all of this, it's not like we've got an abundance of midfielders.
And you're coming up, bearing in mind, we're coming up against a team who are well drilled. We're not coming up against a dibby-dabby team, you know, where we can maybe quality-wise, individual players that we have, we can just pick them off. We're coming up against a team who are, like I just said to you, their lowest percentage this season in Serie A has been 52%. That means in every single game, they have dominated possession. So the reality is, if we're coming up against a team like that, as Ash even said, we've literally only come up against teams who sit. Man United sat back. Man United gave us what was it like? 67%?
That's United's blueprint, isn't it? No, like United's blueprint is to sit back.
But it's now But the thing is, though, Ash, it's going to be everyone's blueprint.
Yeah, it is.
Because they're looking at it like this. Let Liverpool run. Let them, you know, do this intensity and chase and chase and chase. We'll just pick them off.
How good do you think Napoli are tonight? Sat there thinking, do you know what? I can just sit back tomorrow and then pick them off when I want to. It's not even a case of, all right, we've got to come out and play to try and win. They don't. They can literally save their energy, let Liverpool pass, because they know if Liverpool have possession, we have no cutting edge to our possession anyway. So they can have a rest, let Liverpool have the ball. Right, now we'll go. It's so scary thinking that we're going to a Napoli in that stadium with those fans and they can just choose when to turn it on. And they're going to have a very bad game tomorrow for Liverpool to get a win.
All going to have to be incredibly really good.
They don't even have to do... I do still think they will, to an extent, sit back, but they don't have to. You alluded to earlier, they can beat us in both ways. They can do the possession thing as well. They've actually got... They're not like all of the teams we faced in the Prem. They've actually got technically sound players. They're a very good team. They are a very good team.
Yeah.
If we win,
go on.
Last thing, Jay, will be quick. If we do win, and big up G, because he said it earlier, the only way I can see us winning this game, which we've not seen this season, is by individual brilliance. It won't be nothing to do with tactics. It will be someone just doing something mad that pips them maybe by a goal or something. Yeah, you asked me earlier, is that where we get success, Jerry? That is it. It's nothing to do with tactics.
But it's mad. When you think about it, that's what it is. It's Diaz for the draw against Palace. Coming up with Worldy.
Carvalho at Newcastle.
You're talking about Carvalho at Newcastle, obviously just a random moment. Do you know what I mean? Where he's just in the right place, right time.
Bear in mind, he was in the way of Salah. He looked like he was supposed to be there. Like
exactly, yeah. If we had scored with the Nunes chance, for example, that would have been a Worldy. Volley, that reminds me, do you know what I mean? Volley off the chest, bang. Do you know what I mean? That goes in. It's like, wow, we've been poor, but we've scored another Worldy. You then get Diaz as well, where he cuts inside after that and then hits the bar. If he scores that, it's Worldy that will give
credit. I think the only bar Bournemouth, because Bournemouth, sometimes, this sounds mad, but sometimes I wish that game we didn't even win by that much. Yeah. So it didn't smoke screen everyone. The one goal I'm going to give credit to, which, because we were so angry in the moment, I remember when we did the reaction to this, we didn't really actually clock how good it was. It's the only credit I'm going to give us was Nunes' goal against Fulham. That was actually, I think it was 16.
But when he ran across and done the movement first and he missed or was offside or something, or the keeper saved it and done the same movement again.
The same thing. But even before that, Jerry, I think even in the build-up, it was about 15 passes. So that's the only team goal I think we scored this year. That's crazy.
Yeah. What I just don't understand is how have we gotten to this point where obviously obviously I know certain little bits, but we have got the oldest squad in the Premier League. Like, I don't even understand how we've gotten to this point though. Like, I really am struggling to even understand that part. As much as we're going to critique and we're going to analyze every game, I'm still sitting there thinking, bro, but how have we gotten to a point whereby we're at a stage of we actually look poor? Like, it's not even, forget the players. Players go in and out of form. I've got no beef with players going in and out of form. It happens to I've seen Messi go out of form for a little while, so it can happen to the best of them. It's the way that we're playing football. We look so I don't even want to swear anymore, but we just look rubbish. Honestly, we look so rubbish at the moment, man.
We're relying. We're talking about Adormello, or whatever we want to call him. He's been a side man for Barcelona. He's been a side dish for Juventus. We're relying on this player that's never really proven anything in his career. We're relying on him coming on.
I do hear you, Ash, but this is where we're doing him a bit of disservice. This is where Barca and Juve did well in making us view him like that. But there's context to it. Barca, they need to sell him for something.
Yeah, they needed to let him go.
And Juve, they even hate Allegri now. They scored 4 goals from open play. Their system didn't suit Arthur. That's why I actually hope we're actually the club for him to bring out the best in him.
But listen to what you're saying, though, Roms. He's been at
you're right.
No. Take away the Barcelona one, because that was purely financial and that was going over there. We'll talk about the Juve period of time. I don't care if the system doesn't suit you. You suit the system. There is no, it don't suit you and you're going to go to this and do that. Like,
because look at what Thiago's done.
Only when you're at a top club. Different when you're like at a meaty club and it's like, bro, if you put him in Liverpool's team, this guy will do a madness and blah, 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 blah. We're talking about a guy who's at a top club, could not fit in at that team, got injuries as well, which obviously contributed. So I can't get onto him fully, but he then got overtaken by Locatelli and players of this kind of ilk. So again, I'm looking at him thinking, I think he's decent, but how decent are you? We're getting a reject, really and truly, a guy who they were happy, so to maybe not the fans, but Allegri was happy to let go on loan. Not even, you can go on loan. That's cool, man. We don't need to re-see you here. Then what happens? It's just none of it's making sense, man.
Exactly, man. All right, moving on to the forward lineup. We've got a conundrum now, don't we? Bobby, Nunes, or Jota, who's just come back from injury. I think the right-hand side really picks itself, unless someone's got something.
The right-hand side picks itself. Get the Ghostbusters in, because was like literally like Salah's playing so shit at the minute. Like, we can't deny.
That guy must be like viral now. Like, he is up there right now, bro.
Listen, that isn't a guy. That is Mo Salah. Like, I don't even care what anybody says. That's Mo Salah just before he did the shirt reveal porno video before he signed a new contract. That's what he did. That's what he did to get the deal.
No. That video is forever going to kill me, man.
I can't get enough of it. Jamro, big up Jamro in the building saying, what the hell is this? I'm watching Salah try dribble past his fullbacks without running into them.
Hypnotizing them with his hips.
Oh man. But yeah, so Ash, speaking on that then, are you playing? They playing Salah then? Are you dropping him? Is that what you're saying?
I'm dropping Salah, yeah. I'm dropping Salah. I'm playing Elliot on the right wing.
Wow.
I'd rather bet the W no, man. Better the W no.
Is that how bad it is? The only thing
look at the option you just said, Elliot. Yeah, that guy cannot play right wing for Liverpool. No way.
I'm going off the fact the best I've ever seen Liverpool, and I know it's pre-season, but the best that I saw Liverpool, the best I saw Elliot was when he was playing on the right-hand side against Leipzig. He just looked like a different player. He can play from that right-hand side. Mo Salah wasn't playing. We got 4 goals. If you're going to play Nunes, try it. Try Elliot Nunes. This is a game where realistically, if we look at this, the form that we're in, we're probably favourites to lose. We're probably underdogs going into this game. So if we're expected to not get a result, rest Mo, play Elliott. Let's see if Elliott is a right winger. Let's see if Nunes and Elliott play well together. Maybe not even him. Put Jota on. Play Jota and Bobby. Do something different. I just want to see something different again, because we've not found a formula yet, G. Maybe if Arthur plays and Thiago in the midfield, like Jamie Phillips, big up Jamie yesterday, said, we'll see a different Mo Salah because he can stay wide, he can make those out-to-in runs. But I just don't see it in Salah anymore. I've said this. The Torres effect, he's not been the same. Since he came back from AFCON, he's not the same player. Just like Torres coming back from injury, he wasn't the same player.
G, I said the same thing, but the Salah sexuals, they'll cut you up. They will kidnap you. I said the same, and it's hard to hear. I hear he had 5 elite seasons, but maybe this might be his first where he's not. Do you know what I mean? So,
that I can definitely hear.
One thing I'd say, hold on, before we get into that razor saying, what about Jerry's favorite player, K. Gordon? What, popcorn diet and Iron Brew, brother? Nah, he's not getting that.
Don't say that. You loved him. In pre-season, you were singing his praises and everything, Jerry.
Swear. How would you know? Because I'm pretty sure you went on tour to the States, innit, with Arsenal. Because
there's a collection, man, then. It's got this year's one. Got this one. Got the Carnival one. Got last year's home one. The year before that. I think the year before that. The iconic old one.
Listen, you were in tour in the States. I don't think you were even on the stream drums. Do you know what I mean? So
I told you, Rom, you're gonna get caught out one of these days, but guy.
Yeah, man. I mean, right wing. One thing I'd say about Salah, though, regardless, I know we're saying obviously, look, it might be his poor season, this, that, he's not getting involved.
Yeah, there's no one anywhere near his level.
He's still more creative, and B, his all-round gameplay. I know he's not. The problem is, we're used to Salah being the guy that gets the goals. Gets the goals. So when he's not getting the goals or in positions where he looks like he's going to go and get a goal, we're thinking he's actually playing really poorly. But he's been the most creative player in Europe.
In Europe, or not just the league? In Europe?
No, Europe. Now it's Europe. He's been the most creative player.
What?
And
remember, Ronaldo had to change his game.
Yeah, and what it is Salah, unfortunately, Salah scoring all the goals doesn't benefit Liverpool's style of play. So for Liverpool to be at their best, hence why you think about that in the mold of striker we got. Yes, we went and got a Jota. Jota was a left-sided forward that was supposed to, I believe, take over Mane's role. Because bear in mind, Mane wanted to leave that season.
Yeah, he did.
But Klopp told him after that season, and Klopp said, stay for another season, please. That's why he stayed for another season. But Mane wanted to leave. I believe Jota was actually the replacement for Mane.
And when Jota started playing like Bobby, we had to get a Mane replacement in Diaz.
He doesn't play like Bobby, but he started playing down the centre.
Yeah, down the centre,
Bobby was really bad. But what happens is that, Jota's not as... What happens? We don't go and get a Jota who's more in the mold of a Mane in terms of out-to-in runs, as in he makes that run. You get a winger that's like a Diaz. That's a very old-school type of winger. Salah's had to adapt his role because, you don't get the best out of Trent because Trent doesn't overlap anymore. Trent wants to be deep. We've got Nunes now who needs space. Someone's got to create the space, and it has to be Salah, unfortunately. If we move away from that, that's fair. Salah gets the goals, but then we don't see the best out of Nunes. We don't see the best out of Trent or Elliott now because they're all going to be in the centre. They're all going to be squeezed right-hand channel.
Do you know what we're saying, though?
Just before you
Does
go.
Does that mean...
Just before you go.
Yeah, because G's got to go. Yeah, so
my score prediction for tomorrow. Just before you think, Napoli 2-1. KV is going to score. I don't know how many, but he's definitely going to score. But big up you guys. Make sure you lot smash the likes. I'm out.
Big up G, man. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Big up. But yeah, sorry.
What I was going to say, I agree with everything you're saying with Mo. He's going to play. But the worrying thing for me is Mo actually going to have to play every single game? Because who is backup for Mo Salah. We're saying Elliott's right central midfield. Who's going to play? If we can't rest in this game because there's no options anyway. Like, literally, it's Cade Gordon is the only natural right winger that we have that can come on and replace Mo Salah. Like, what do we do? Do we play Diaz does Diaz go to the right and then we play someone off the left? Like, there's no right winger in the squad aside from Mo Salah and Cade Gordon.
Do you know what I want to big up Rami as well? Because, I saw that chances creation stat for the Rain's peak, innit, Jerry? I saw that. I can hear it as well. The chances creation stat, it can kind of be that kind of a illusion because it's the quality of the chance. Because I've seen Salah just put the ball in the box and someone not really get to it, but that's a chance created. Do you know what I mean? Because I saw it as that maybe we're being a bit too harsh on Salah. Then I actually realized, no, it's actually the quality of a chance. Because chance creation you could put in the deadest ball, but it can still come of a chance created. Do you know what I mean? And when you've watched Salah, this is where the eye test actually comes into it. When you've watched Salah, Jerry, this season, have you actually seen him create quality chances? I have seen one or two, but it's not been a consistent thing.
It hasn't been consistent, but it depends what the stat views as a chance, because the two chances he created for Nunes showed that he had that link up. And after that game, everyone was like, wow, him and Nunes are going to have a great one.
Yeah.
So we did go and say that. I think that the problem is that Salah as City, and I talk about it, we're now asking Salah to change his game at the age of 30 after 5 seasons where he's been essentially a focal point. He's been down, like out hitting runs, but very much down the centre. Now he's having to keep his width to draw players out to him and create space.
Yeah.
Or Elliott to pick up the pockets, because it's when there's no space in behind, I think the team have realised Salah's not as effective.
Yeah.
That's why.
It just shows, doesn't it, that we've clearly not got a profile of play. We're clearly not looking at players that are going to suit the style of players we've got. Because if you look at Salah, he signs a £350,000 contract. In my opinion, you go, right, he's the main guy. We play to Salah's strengths because he's proven that year in, year out, he can get 30 plus goals or whatever it is every season. But then they go and get a Nunes who completely contradicts Mo Salah's style, who doesn't suit what Mo Salah's been doing for the last few seasons. Instead of going, right, we're losing Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane is the key to everything we've done, which is clear now. Get somebody in that fits the mold of Sadio Mane. We've gone completely the opposite way and gone for somebody who we've got to change our whole system to suit. Plus, is Nunes even that proven that it's worth changing our entire system just to suit him?
I mean, that's the problem. But the thing is, I can't blame the club for that because something had to change. Now, problem is that, and I've said it, it's the change is not being executed properly because it's not in the DNA of Klopp and Linders to move away from this intensity and this running. And I said, and I've been saying, City's style for this season and even in the Premier League and for games across 38 games is more conducive to winning the league. And the reason why it is because you're playing a much more controlled game. We play a very chaotic game, which means in chaos, there's going to be times where we're caught out, where we've got a high line and there's a ball in behind. And do you know what I mean? There's going to be times where everything's bobbling around and this, that, and this chaos creates havoc. But the problem is we're unable to create this chaos because A, the types of players that we've got now, and B, the fact that our players are aging. So there has been this transition into this more possession-based style of football. But it hasn't helped because it's not in Pep's DNA to do this. So what we're seeing Salah do is guys, next, if I'm not sure if City are playing today or tomorrow, but if they are, just watch what Mahrez and the white players do for City and tell me that's not what Salah's been doing. Stretching the pitch, hogging the pitch, staying at the byline and allowing and creating chances from that, coming inside when they have to. And that's what it's been. Unfortunately, we've changed our system to go and obviously, hopefully take that next step. Problem is, are we going to be able to do it? Is Klopp good enough to go and and coach now, and that's about coaching. Can he coach Salah to be able to do what these wide players do at your Cities or your Arsenals? Or can he coach Nunes to become this goal scorer, or does he need to just get the most out of them in terms of intensity, in terms of this, in terms of that?
That's all he can do, innit? It's proven that tactically, who has he ever changed tactically? If you look at everybody, who
has he coached, Ash?
That's what I mean. Who have we got any footballing ability out of? We've got the maximum potential in terms of work rate, mentality, effort, everything else. Henderson's not changed since Kenny Dalglish was there. Henderson's still the same player technically, but he just runs more and shouts more and works
all that
more.
happens is Klopp, and I've said it before, he's very much, and not to be like, not even trying to be funny, he's very much like an Anthony Robbins. You get into that changing room with him, and all of a sudden it's passion, intensity, it's motivation. When you go and bring that out, and you've got an amazing man manager that Klopp is, these players will die for Klopp. Hence why he's the manager that could go and keep an Origi around for ages and make him feel special. We've spoken about it all the time. But when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, the actual football, the thing that's consistent, so intensity is not consistent across the board because it can't be.
Yeah.
All right, before we head out, because it's supposed to be a quick one, I'm just going to read through some of the comments and then we're going to get into our score predictions before we head out. Big up everyone that's been in the chat. There's 39 of us in the chat right now. Please, if you could get the likes up to 39 likes, I don't know how many likes. Please smash the likes and those likes. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe as well. We're 8 subscribers of 400 subs, so please make sure that you're subscribing. Realism Jared, big up RJ saying, guys, do you think this could be World Cup season? All teams dropping silly points, so whoever can be mildly consistent will do well? Potentially,
yeah. Maybe it's that big team that don't have players going to the World Cup, like Liverpool. We might benefit majorly from this World Cup because we don't have a lot of our big players going to it.
Yeah.
So,
problem is we're not intense though. And
but then you know what?
The season's only going to carry on. So
there's a counter argument. Yeah, literally that. There's a counter argument to that. That's what I was thinking all rosy, but I think it was just to make myself feel better because our player won't be in that consistent rhythm of games where, let's say all them players that are injury free come back from the World Cup, they still be in that rhythm of playing. Ours players have to get back up to it. You know what I mean? So it could be a blessing or a curse.
Yeah. Marque, big up Marque saying we will be frustrated and then overwhelmed. Potentially. Trudon saying Salah will lose the ball, miss chances and smile. The Colombian Brown, no end product. Nunes playing a different sport. Oh no. They only get Jamie Phillips saying, gee, did you just call Klopp an Uber driver? You're going to have to ask him in the next stream, Jamie, because I don't really want to speak to him.
I think he did.
Zabiri, big up Zabiri saying, top analogy, G. Eating food and making food is what separates a long belly gal and a nurturing lady.
Yeah.
True. And Dicko, big up saying Jones and Cavallo didn't train yet. We know that. True, not saying art is a PR move. If you don't play, potentially. I mean, look, if he comes off the bench, then at least we have some hope. But
with Jones not travelling, surely he's got to. He's got to now.
Yeah. Man like Shawnee saying Curtis Jones has gone AWOL, where we spoke about it already. Elliot and Cavallo had to still do the donkey work, same tactics with the players that don't suit it. Yeah. And Dicko saying, would you rest the Verge tomorrow? He needs one. Ash said he'd rest him, I believe. I said I'd play him and Matip. Unfortunately, we haven't got the luxury of resting him because Matip and Gomez don't work. He's saying again, and Dicko saying, go and look at inside Anfield Newcastle game, all the injured players celebrating, but no sign of Keita on the bench.
Keita wants out. This is all true. What came out is all true. It's not a coincidence that he gets an injury all of a sudden as soon as the news comes out that he wants to move. They couldn't push a move through because nobody wants to take him at the price that we were offering. It's all happened at perfect timing. He's not injured. He's just not going to play for Liverpool again because he wants out the door. So in January, they're going to try and push a move through.
Yeah. Shower Boy, big up Shower Boy, saying Coutinho was an Inter reject, so man have faith in Arthur. Yeah, he was. The difference is we were in a different position at the time. If you're building, you're, do you know what I mean, we're 7th, 8th, or whatever. It doesn't matter what type of play you get because you're building on hope, and that's why every transfer window, it doesn't matter who we got in, we're like, yes. We're at a different stage now where we just want absolute quality and guaranteed quality, and I think that's the problem. But I agree. I do have faith in Arthur. I do. In Mello. Ravi, big up Ravi saying Roms is cronky and Arteta in. Jesus Christ.
Look what he done, Jerry.
Jesus, man. We've got Phil Bidwell, big up Bidders, saying we've never scored in Naples. It's about time that changed.
You know,
yeah, we'll get into the score predictions after that, so we'll see.
Big up yourself, Philip, as well, because that's what gives me less confidence as well. We've gone to Naples twice with a better team and not got anything, so yeah.
Hussein Khalif says, well, soon I won't hear the word competitive again. Jesus Christ. Big up saying, I don't want to hear excuses about rhythm then. That's exactly it. Jesus. Weena saying, to be honest, Coutinho was special. 20-year-old Coutinho actually improves us more than 20-year-old Carvalho.
But Coutinho, we didn't have any other option in it. We didn't have an option, so we had to play. If Carvalho has to play, and we play him every week, he can make a difference like Coutinho did play in the right position.
Big up Robbie Murphy. I was telling the people about this top. G was trying to say it's an ugly McDonald's top. So was Assad. Robbie Murphy's on my side. I hated that
kit, but you and Ish rock it well. I'll be real. I didn't
good, man, I'm telling you. It's good when you put it on. When you put it on, it's different.
Be honest, in the summer though, you had bare the bees and that just around you.
The thing is, you know what it is? I was saying I didn't because I didn't wear it in the summer, but I couldn't even wear it this summer because the missus washed it and it's all
the
like
fade.
It's the standard chart that's come off, and then the Expedia one here has come off, so I can't even wear it like that. But it's got Virgil on the back, innit? Virgil on the back. Yeah, man. Guys, I think that's about it, you know. Champions League preview. Score predictions. I'll start with score predictions and first goal scorer as well, please.
Do you know what? I went in the chat, I went 2-2. But after speaking and actually deep in what this game is going to be, I think it's going to be 2-1 to Napoli. I think first goal scorer Zielinski.
Fair.
Okay. Roms?
I'll give you detail with man. 3-1 Napoli. How do you pronounce Kvaratskhelia?
Kvaratskhelia, yeah.
Kvaratskhelia, you'll get a brace. And I think their other scorer will be Elmas coming off the bench. He's so electric.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Elmas, we're just going to get consolation. Salah will score there. I actually think Salah will score tapping or something. But it'll be a consolation. But Napoli 3, Liverpool 1.
Okay.
God forbid that happens, but yeah, I just feel that.
Mine, I mean, it's just.
I've got nothing left. I've got nothing left.
I'm going 2-1 Napoli. Salah to get the first goal.
That's a good shout, that, you know, because I think Liverpool might get the first goal, get comfortable, and then Napoli just kill us off. Do you know, if Liverpool get the first goal as well, I'll feel comfortable. I'll be like, do you know what? We might run through this game. Yeah. And then it gets to half-time. The second half, they come out, get an early goal, and then it's just constant pressure. Napoli pressure. Liverpool don't seem to be able to play out of it. Remember the days when we used to go 1-0 up? And we used to look like we were going to get a second straight away. We just kept control of possession. we never look like losing or even conceding. And now it's like, it's long, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, man. It's just, do you know what it is? I hope I come on the stream like tomorrow or whenever, doing the review, and I'm like this.
I fucked up.
And that's what and that's what it is. I want to come here and be like, look, I fucked up. I do you know what I mean? I was wrong. We've kickstarted our season, but I just don't see it. And I think it's important to be realist as fans, because if we're not real, we enable what the board do, what the club do, and we let the players off.
Yep.
And I think us as well, everyone in the chat and us on the panel, I think that's what we're not going to allow, because of where we are, and it's the high standards that we have as a club. I mean, yeah, make sure, guys. I mean, you guys will be chilling. We'll be grafting. Tomorrow, Ash, I know we're gonna have we're gonna have a UCL preview on the Klopp Zone channel at 7, I believe, or is it 11?
Tomorrow.
Today, is it today or tomorrow? The UCL preview?
Today we're gonna do a stats preview, kind of Napoli Champions League welcome show, and then tomorrow we're gonna do a Reds alert before kickoff, probably a couple of hours before kickoff. We're gonna just break it down, have a few predictions, a bit like this, to be honest, but just a few more games and features thrown in there. But yeah, make sure you jump across at 7 o'clock tonight. We're going to do Champions League preview show on Klopp Zone. But before you do that, make sure you subscribe. Look, it's down there. Subscribe to the Jerry James Show, because the numbers are unbelievable, but you need to subscribe to back those numbers up as well. So don't be lazy. Get over there and hit subscribe on your way out.
There we go. Roms, where can they find you? I know your ats are all there. They all know your ats anyway, but have you got anything planned for tonight? Any games you'll be watching that you want the people to converse with you about on the socials?
What Champions League game am I going to delve into tonight?
The City play tonight.
Yeah, but PSG Juve, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the tasty one. Because PSG are my favourites to win it. Just, I know we say this every year, but under Gautier, they look different, and they've got more strength and depth and whatnot. But no, you lot know, Matt, it's Romel Andre, the L is a 1. And yeah, go check out, me and Saint also just did a Napoli preview as well. That's why I was coming in late, but go check that out. I'm trying to think, is there anything else coming up? No, tomorrow my day is quite relaxed, yeah.
As I said, guys, please, like, do you know what I mean? Subscribe, make sure you're liking the show, and please support the channel, because if not, we're gonna have to keep playing this.
It's between me and you. Because while you were sitting around, waiting, doing niche, I was out making moves.
And the thing is, we've been making moves. Us on Klopp Zone, Roms, G, we've all been making moves. If you don't support us now, you're gonna support us later. It's gonna be more difficult. Big up, everyone. It's been the Jerry James Show. And we're out.